Hello there and welcome, and today we're in Innsbruck and we're going to the top of Innsbruck via the Nordkette. This will be a combination funicular and cable car that will take us about 6,000 feet above Innsbruck for a spectacular 360-degree view of the valley and the Carvendel. The ride begins from the valley floor, goes across the inn. After a couple changes, we end up at the Havelkar, which is about 7,400 feet. The valley station is very easy to get to. It's just a short walk from the tourist bureau past the Hofburg to the Congress station. The Congress station is an underground station which was designed by the architect Zaha Hadid, and she took inspiration from the surroundings of snow and ice, and all of the stations along the way are really stunning and worth seeing. The first phase of the ride, we start at the Congress station and go across the Inn River to the Alpine Zoo. The cars are interesting because on the flat part, it acts like a regular train, and then as you begin the ascent, the cars separate and it becomes a funicular. Here we emerge from the tunnel and cross the river in to the other side where we begin the ascent. Right across the bridge is the first of our truly spectacular views, and then we start down in a tunnel before we emerge on the other side heading up to the Alpine Zoo. After a short distance, we emerge from this tunnel and onto the Alpine Zoo. The zoo houses the largest collection of alpine animals, and if you have 2 to 3 hours, it's a great stop. After a very brief stop, we continue our climb to Hungerburg. This is the end of the line for the Hungerburg Bahn, and this is where we change to the cable car. And the station is very beautiful as well, where you get a great view of the valley below. During our trip, we were fortunate in the fact that it had just snowed, and it was a very wet snow, and it was still clinging to the branches of the trees. Hungerburg is a little village, and if you have time, it's a great place to wander and get something to eat or something to drink. But also you can continue up the hill to get on the cable car. Alright, so now it's time to board the cable car here in Hungerburg and then take it up to Seegrube. Along the way, you'll see a lot of hiking trails, and there's also some chairlifts up here for the wintertime skiing, and even a bed and breakfast. Keep your camera handy as you head up, as the sights out the window are spectacular. This was in November, so there was quite a bit of snow up here already, and then along the way we saw what looked to be the makings of a small snow avalanche. And I got a kind of a close-up, and you can see perhaps how avalanches really start. There are some hiking trails and ski runs up here, but this is where you get your first good look at the valley below. Try to get in the last cabin of the last car going up, otherwise you'll have to take pictures over people's heads as I did here. If you don't get a view out the back, you get a terrific view out the side of the extremely rugged terrain and some of the sporting infrastructure that takes electricity up to the top of the mountain. This is as we approach the Seegrube station, and it just gives you spectacular views, and again we can turn towards the valley and see Innsbruck below. Alright, so we reach the end of this line and have to change to another station here in Seegrube, and that will take us to the summit of Havelkar, about 7,400 feet, and we can see it right there. This is a very short ride, and here is a time lapse from one station to the next, so you can see it doesn't take long. You can also see the snow fences that prevent the avalanches to the station down below, and here we are at the summit. Station at the summit has some food and drink you can get there, but there's also an observation platform where you can get that view that you really wanted of Innsbruck from 6,000 feet above. Here at the observation platform, you'll find some telescopes, and also there will be some plaques that will help you identify the peaks that you see across the valley. Unfortunately for us, there was a considerable cloud cover in the valley below, but you could still make out where Innsbruck was. But we're not done, and there are some trails that we will explore next. We didn't have hiking shoes, but had some sturdy shoes, and there was railings on the side going up, so we didn't really have to contend with falling much. But there were warning signs all over the place that said, "Please be careful." Also, a few kids got in the act and actually did a snow angel in the snow next to the trail. So this part of the walk wasn't that bad, and there's Innsbruck below, and here we can see the top of the peak, Karspitze. But we were wondering which way we should go, so we spied a sign up ahead and decided to take a look. So the first of the signs says it's a 15-minute walk to the Karspitze, which is the summit of this mountain, 7,400 feet, and you get a 360-degree view. However, there are no handrails. Instead, we chose to go to the left to the Karvendelblick, which is an overview looking the Karvendel range, and as you can see, it's not a bad walk up there. Let's review quickly on this topo map to see where we are. We rode from Innsbruck up to the Nordkette, can look over the ridge to the Karvendel range, which is mostly in Austria, but also goes into Germany a little bit. There's the German town of Mittenwald. If you ever decide to visit Mittenwald, you can take a cable car, the Karvendelbahn, walk through a tunnel, and emerge in Austria, and you get this view of exactly where we're standing now. And then this view is from Nordkette looking back towards Mittenwald. So from our vantage point on the Nordkette, we get a 360-degree view that's hard to beat. We see the Karvendel, and then as we turn around, we can still see into the valley below where Innsbruck is. It is certainly well worth the walk up here, and the hike isn't that bad. So unfortunately, our short visit is about over, and it's time to head back down, and we turn and look back down to Innsbruck, shrouded in the clouds. Absolutely stunning. I do recommend you come if you have some more time, and you could even spend the entire day here. This is a time-lapse of our way down from the Zeebrugge station, and you can see as we pass through the clouds, and then we start to get a glimpse of the beautiful trees coated in the snow. And here we finish at Hungerberg. From the cable car station, it's a little walk past some more spectacular scenery, looking down again into Innsbruck. So once again, we go into the Hungerberg station and take the funicular back down the hill. Now, I highly recommend this trip, and there are many ways to do it. There are even some combination packages, one that includes food or a trip to the zoo. I will leave links in the description below where you can buy some of these packages. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please take a moment to subscribe and like this video. Thanks very much.